In the intricate landscape of human relationships, few things can be as devastating and bewildering as experiencing the discard and silent treatment from a covert narcissist. While narcissism itself is often associated with grandiosity and overt displays of arrogance, covert narcissism operates in the shadows, disguising its toxicity with subtlety and manipulation. Within this dynamic, the discard and silent treatment serve as powerful tools wielded by the covert narcissist to maintain control and dominance over their unsuspecting victims. Understanding covert narcissism. Let's delve deeper into what it actually looks like. Covert narcissism shares many traits with its more overt counterpart, but there are some key differences. Covert narcissism is characterized by a hidden sense of superiority and entitlement, often masked by a facade of humility or selflessness. These individuals may appear shy or introverted on the surface, but underneath lies a deep need for admiration and validation, contrast to overt narcissism, where the traits are blatantly obvious. Covert narcissists are masters of disguise. They manipulate through subtle tactics, such as passive-aggressive behavior, playing the victim, or using pity to gain sympathy and control. While overt narcissists may openly brag about their achievements and seek constant attention, covert narcissists prefer to fly under the radar. They may present themselves as humble and self-effacing, but in reality, they are just as self-centered and manipulative as their overt counterpart. Important to recognize that covert narcissism can be just as damaging as overt narcissism, if not more so. Their covert tactics make it difficult for others to identify the abuse, leaving victims feeling confused and invalidated. The discard phase of a relationship with a covert narcissist can be profoundly disorienting. Initially, these individuals often present themselves as charming, empathetic, and deeply caring, drawing their victims into a web of emotional dependence and trust. However, as the relationship progresses, cracks begin to appear in the facade, revealing the true nature of the covert narcissist. Suddenly, without warning or explanation, they withdraw their affection and attention, leaving their partner feeling bewildered, abandoned, and utterly alone. The discard phase is characterized by a sudden and complete disengagement from the relationship. Communication becomes sparse or non-existent, and any attempts to understand or resolve the situation are met with indifference or hostility. For the victim, it can feel as though they have been cast aside like an object no longer of use, their worth and humanity callously disregarded by someone they once held dear. Equally devastating is the silent treatment employed by the covert narcissist as a means of punishment and control. During this time, the victim is subjected to a cold and calculated absence of communication, leaving them to grapple with feelings of confusion, anxiety, and self-doubt. The silent treatment is a form of psychological warfare, designed to exert power and dominance over the victim while inflicting maximum emotional pain. For the victim of covert narcissistic abuse, the discard and silent treatment can have profound and long-lasting effects on their mental and emotional well-being. They may experience feelings of worthlessness, inadequacy, and betrayal, struggling to make sense of what has happened and why they have been treated so cruelly. The trauma inflicted by the covert narcissist can linger for years, undermining their self-esteem and ability to trust others in future relationships. Complete withdrawal, the ultimate form of emotional abandonment. Consider the case of Sarah and Alex, a couple deeply in love or so, Sarah thought. Their relationship had been filled with laughter, shared dreams, and a sense of companionship that seemed unbreakable. However, as time went on, Sarah began to notice a subtle shift in Alex's behavior. He became increasingly distant, spending more time on his phone and less time engaging with her emotionally. One evening, after a particularly heated argument, Sarah reached out to Alex, hoping to reconcile and talk through their issues. To her shock and dismay, Alex simply turned away, retreating into a stony silence that left Sarah feeling utterly alone. No matter how much she pleaded and begged for him to talk to her, Alex remained obstinately silent, his indifference piercing her heart like a dagger. Days turned into weeks, and still, Alex refused to break his silence, leaving Sarah to grapple with her confusion and pain in isolation. She began to doubt herself, questioning what she had done to deserve such treatment from the man she loved. Was she not worthy of his attention and affection? Had she somehow failed him as a partner? In the absence of communication, Sarah's mind became a battleground of doubt and insecurity. Her self-esteem slowly eroded by Alex's silent rejection. She felt as though she was walking on eggshells, tiptoeing around the gaping void where their relationship once thrived. With each passing day, the silence grew louder, suffocating Sarah in its oppressive weight. Eventually, Sarah made the difficult decision to confront Alex one last time, steeling herself for whatever response he might offer. As she stood before him, her heart laid bare, Alex finally broke his silence, uttering words that cut deeper than any silence ever could. "I'm sorry, Sarah," he said, his voice hollow and devoid of emotion. "But I can't do this anymore. It's over." With those words, Sarah's world shattered into a million pieces. The pain of Alex's complete withdrawal, leaving scars that would linger long after he had walked out of her life. In that moment, she realized that the silent treatment was not just a temporary lapse in communication. It was the ultimate betrayal of trust and the cruelest form of emotional abandonment. And as she picked up the pieces of her broken heart, Sarah vowed never to let anyone silence her voice or diminish her worth again.